Ayaz Sadiq, Ambassador Ahmed Hussain Dayo, Director General, Foreign Service Academy, officers of the Foreign Office, ambassadors, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, and I think I see some parents also from attending this function of today. It's a privilege and a pleasure for me to be here. Somehow, directly or indirectly, I am related to the Foreign Office. I will not read out the speech, so let me close it down. I want to connect with the heart with you. This is not only a moment of privilege, but do remember that this is a huge responsibility which is to be carried by you in your long careers. You are the cream of Pakistan who get through competition exams, and then you finally get trained as officers of the Foreign Office. The world is changing, and I think we also need to change. Things are moving very rapidly, very fast, and in areas that we've never seen before. The trade war has started, terrorism has affected Pakistan the most, and when you will be assigned your postings wherever you get posted, your responsibility will be to project Pakistan. And that responsibility of not only projecting Pakistan, but making relationships with wherever you are posted and continuing with those relationships is extremely important. And I'll give you examples of that also. By the grace of Allah, I was entrusted the office of the Speaker in 2013. So I requested for a specialized officer to be sent from the Foreign Office. I got a panel of 3. I interviewed all 3 of them, and fortunately I got the best. And today he happens to be sitting here, Shafkat Saab. He joined the National Assembly to look after the international relations. And how I found that how important diplomacy is, not only restricted to the Foreign Office, but to the Parliament also. I realized in 2007, when I was invited by the German government to visit Germany for a civil-military dialogue. This is when terrorism was at its peak, and the perception about Pakistan was extremely poor. It was not only poor, but it was the international press that was creating a hurdle. So I was given the task of formulating this group. So I got 1 member of Parliament from urban Sindh, 1 from rural Sindh, myself from urban Punjab, another one from rural Punjab, 2 from KP, 1 from Balochistan who happened to be a lady. She was a Christian and she belonged to a religious party of Maulana Fazlur Rahman. So we formed this group and we had discussions how to change the image. I was in opposition at that time. How to change the image of Pakistan in the eyes of these nations who are involved directly or indirectly in war against terror and in Afghanistan, and give them the confidence of what Pakistan is all about. I was fortunate, I got 5 officers from the armed forces. A VCGS, who later on became a Lieutenant General, commanded Quetta Corps. The other one, again, we had 2 rounds actually. So, and the other one also became Corps Commander Gujranwala. He was also in the VCGS office. And from different organizations where we prepared a comprehensive plan how to convey the message of Pakistan, what we had suffered, what we had lost, how our armed forces, our police, our people in uniform sacrificed their lives for Pakistan. And we were fighting a war for the entire world, not only for Pakistan. So we went on the trip to Germany. For good 7 days, we were working from 9 to 9. And my friends from the armed forces said, I never knew that politicians can also work this hard. So we put our act together, we presented SWAT operation and other things, and finally we convinced the Germans that embargoes on Pakistan is not correct. We met the Finance Committee, the Defense Committee, their Armed Forces, Economic Affairs Committee, and Foreign Relations Committee. We could convey our message to them. That is when I realized that Pakistan Parliament should have friendship groups with different countries. And I never knew that I would be tasked with the responsibility of being the speaker in 2013. When I was given this task, I established 96 friendship groups in the parliament with sister parliaments and proactive ones. And I can tell you my personal experience. I'm in touch with the former Iranian speaker, who's been a friend. I'm still in touch with members of parliament. I'm in touch with Turkish former speakers, former prime minister, former members of parliament. I'm in touch with Russian former speaker who is the head of the external intelligence, and the present speaker, members of parliament. And I have a whole range of list and Shafkat Saab traveled with me to Russia also. And that relationship which we established in 2013-14 still continues, even if they are not in the same positions, but they're in other positions. And what is my interest? My interest is Pakistan. I do not gain anything personally from them, but yes, Pakistan gains if I have. And there have been many occasions where on international conferences, we have put our heads together, where we have tried to work together on causes and issues of interest to Pakistan. I will give you another example. I think you were there when we signed the conference with Russia. So I convened a meeting in Pakistan after an effort of 2 years, where the Russian foreign minister, who still is the foreign minister, refused to allow this meeting to go on between the speakers. But President Putin finally allowed it. We held a conference in Pakistan that was known as the First Speakers Conference. We had Russia, Turkey, Iran, China, Pakistan, and Afghanistan. The subject was how to collectively counter terrorism using the parliament as a tool and connectivity. That was a great success, and never before has Russia or Iran and Afghanistan signed on a document that says that resolution of Kashmir should be based on the UN resolution. That is what they signed, and we have got evidence of that, which is with the Foreign Office. It was because of the relationship and because we were able to convince. It's going to be your job to convince them what Pakistan is all about. Yesterday at the Overseas Pakistanis Convention, I did tell them, if you speak good of Pakistan, they will think that Pakistan is a good. If you project Pakistan poorly, you will be doing a disservice to the country and to yourself also, because if you speak against your country, you will not be held at that level in the eyes of those who you're speaking to. This is the kind of story that I'm telling you, that the connectivity and the relationship should stay. Day before yesterday, I had a delegation of 3 congressmen from USA. And one of them had signed a declaration against Pakistan for human rights. And I spent an hour and a half with them. I had invited the opposition who did not turn up, the government, 1 or 2, one from each political party. And I said, they had initially come here for discussion on trade. It is the Pak-US caucus. So 3 of them. I said, you want to discuss other issues, but I want to discuss another issue. And I said, during General Ziaul Haq's period, we fought a war when the Russians had invaded Afghanistan for the entire world. Our soil was used. What did we inherit? Guns and drugs. You left us high and dry. Then another period came after 9/11 that we were forced into a fight that was not our fight. And we sided with NATO US and the entire world. What did we get? We got more refugees. And the third one was when the US abandoned and the NATO abandoned Afghanistan, leaving $8 billion worth of equipment. If we want to buy equipment from you, there are embargoes on us. But if we want to buy from Taliban at half the rate, we might be able to do that. And these are the arms and armaments that are being used against our armed forces, against our people, by killing, by murdering, I should say, our school-going children, our churches, our mosques, our hospitals, and these are the soft targets that they're targeting. And where is it originating from? From Afghanistan. Why is it that all terrorist organizations are together in Afghanistan? They don't fight each other there. But we are the targets. Why? Because of international conspiracies. It's geopolitical. So when we discuss with them, before that they'd come from GHQ, so they got a detailed briefing on what terrorism, and we are losing our lives. They were talking of human rights. I did tell them that we should talk of human rights when we're talking of Palestine, when we're talking of Kashmir, and you're talking of human rights here because we have somebody in jail in Balochistan or somebody jail in Punjab. I did give them an example of the Jafar Express. Jafar Express, you might not be knowing the story, but I do. Jafar Express was attacked by terrorists. Now these terrorists, 4 of them were lying under the train. They had suicide jackets with them, and God forbid, if that had blown, all the people would have blown. So those are the terrorists with Pakistan attacks. Those are the terrorists. There is no compromise or no relief for these kind of terrorists. And same is the case in other regions of Pakistan. So we are fighting this. They are being funded. We have enough evidence, and we will not compromise to anybody who takes lives of our Pakistani brothers and sisters. So after the 1.5 hours, I could see a change. They categorically said, we are not interested in your internal politics. We want to engage you. You are a friend of Pakistan. And same happened yesterday afternoon with the European Union delegation who had thought of rights. Let me also tell you something which I have been witness to. 2018 to 2022, the Prime Minister was arrested, the sitting Prime Minister, his son was arrested, his brother, the former Prime Minister, was arrested, his daughter was arrested, our Planning Minister was arrested, our Defence Minister. They were all arrested with no case against them, but they were under investigation for 2 years and maybe more. No production orders were issued. They were not allowed to come to Parliament. They could not represent their constituencies. They could not put forward their vote. So only for voting during the budget. But that was something wrong. I undid that. I said 2 wrongs do not make a right. When these people were arrested who were members of Parliament, I did not waste a minute of producing them in the Parliament. I gave them the floor. They spoke their heart out. I said, the Constitution says you can't speak against the judiciary and the armed forces. I will restrict you there. Rest, you can go ahead. You can say anything you want to the government. And they did. I gave them the floor, and I did not send them back to the jail like the previous government used to do. I sent them to the Parliament lodges and declared them as sub-jail. I was criticized for that. But that is my responsibility. As long as I'm Speaker, I'm going to do that because I feel they have a right to come here. The legal cases, they can go on. So I think we have to set the examples ourselves. It is very easy to say, okay, this is what you did, I'll do the same with you. That is not appropriate. I tried to mediate between the government and the opposition. I tried my best. I opened my doors. I had backdoor with the opposition, and then I got them on the table. But I cannot disclose what happened there, but there's no other way except sit together, discuss issues, and move forward. So let's not talk of opposition and government now. But I think आप लोगों की जो responsibility, you have to please relationships which me and my other colleagues have made. Even if they're not in Parliament, but still that relationship between two former parliamentarians of different parliaments is also, I invited the German speaker and he came to Pakistan after 3 years of my invitation. When he landed here, the first thing he did while getting down from the steps of the plane, he was talking to his wife that I've landed safely. And then after 4 days, he was in Lahore, sitting on the cuckoos opposite the Badshah Mosque. We went there about 7:38, and at 12 I had to say, Excellency, it's 12 o'clock, it's the next day, let's go. So we took him from there. And I sent him to the National College of Arts, Cathedral School, Convent School. I said, you move around and see what Pakistan is all about. And when he went back, he said, I wish I'd come earlier. This is what I project. Get more people into Pakistan. We can go there, but getting more people into Pakistan is extremely important to try and give them the feel. These congressmen of day before yesterday who met me, they went to restaurants here. They said, this is the different Pakistan. This is not what we'd heard about. So I think the more we project Pakistan, the more we expose Pakistan. They promised me they're going to go to Gilgit next time, and they're going to visit other places also when they come for the next trip. So I think your responsibility is going to be, all of us, our responsibility is, number one is Pakistan. We should project the real picture of Pakistan, which is not projected in the international media. And please build on these relationships. These relationships are going to be in your careers very helpful, and document what you do. If you don't have these document and record, I think the continuity will not be there. So whatever, I think your system is such that you have to document, but even if you meet a member of parliament or a member of official of any other embassy that you're working in, or that government, if you document that, that is going to be the guiding principle for the coming days of what the relationship is. Difficult times ahead and challenging times. You have age and youth on your side. Experience will come from the seniors, and I think as a team, you'll do very well. I wish you all the luck, and I pray that you succeed for the sake of your own careers and for Pakistan. I wish you luck, and inshallah we'll be meeting soon. Allah Hafiz, Pakistan.